Uh, yeah, Hello all. Welcome to another video session. Yes, in this video, I would like to talk about a recent notice issued by UGC regarding Prime Minister's Research Fellows revised guidelines on 16th June 2020. We'll see what is in this notice. Actually, earlier the PMRF guidelines were it's a mostly suitable only for the IITs or NITs graduates. But now the guidelines has been revised in such a way that helpful for other deemed university or any other engineering graduates also. We'll see what is in this notice. The Government of India has sanctioned the Prime Minister's Research Fellows scheme. The scheme has been designed for improving the quality of research in various higher education institutions in the country. The scheme was announced in the budget 2018-19 with attractive fellowships. The scheme seeks to attract the best talent into reach, thereby realizing the vision of development through innovation. The institutes which can offer PMRF include all the IITs, all the ISRs, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, the central universities or NITs, offering science and or technology degrees which appear in the top 25 institutions in the NIRF rankings. Yes, this is a good thing that year by year, the MHRD issues the ranking for all the engineering institutes for various categories, such a way like overall university category, engineering category, law, management, pharmacy, and a few other categories are there. In that, the NRF top 25 institutes alone can be offered this PMRF schemes, and these institutes also called as PMRF granting institutions. Okay, whoever the fellows joined through this scheme can only be take admission in those top 25 institutions. The candidates will be selected through a rigorous selection process and their performance will be reviewed suitably through a national convention. Starting academic year 2020 to 21, candidates can apply for PMRF through these two channels. One is a direct entry channel and a lateral entry channel. Only these two ways the graduates can take part into this scheme. We'll see what are the guidelines issued uh, or revised guidelines. And background, we know the what is the purpose of this PMRF, and it is designed for the to improve the quality of research in higher education institutions. Actually, the revision, in my point of view, the revision is given because earlier the PMRF scheme uh, was not known to all the institutions because there is a myth uh, circulates in the graduate mindset. It is only for IITs or NIT or top institutions graduates only eligible, and only those people are availed the fellowship, and it is not the up to the mark also. And the entry level is that one graduate has to uh, present his project for that fellowship, and later the screening process will be taken and then they'll do the other selection criteria. Now, at that time what happened was the fellows, uh, the required number for the PMRF was not reached to the uh, mark. So that's why, if at all they revise these guidelines, there is a more chance to uh, pull the talent from various parts of the India, right? And till now, it is unaware for the all other graduates. because people they have to opt for the PhD also for this scheme, right? So that's why people are they're more cautious about this, and they are selective too. And to make this as an attractive scheme, that's why the fellowship is also given a very high pay scale. It is almost equal to the assistant professor levels. And we'll see the granting and seat allocation. Yes, uh, as we earlier talked about the top 25 institutions like IITs, ISRs, ISC, or any other central universities or NITs, and which are offers only any science or technological degrees, no any other degree apart from these two. Okay, and those institutions should be placed in top 25 in NRF ranking in overall category. Okay, not only in the they don't bother about in engineering whether they got in 25th or top 10 or something. Okay, in overall category, that institution should be placed in top 25. And those top 25 institutes are called as or referred as PMRF granting institutions. Okay, and the PMRF granting institutions, what happens is they have to allow the allot the seats for this scheme too. Why? Because all these IITs or NITs or any other institute, the usually the faculty will apply the or he'll get the fund through various schemes, and he will recruit a JRF or any project fellow for his project, and that fellow uh, side by siding doing his project as well as he should opt for the PhD. Apart from that, the regular or the existing PhD candidates, they have to increase the number of PhD candidates. Okay, in that the top 10 NRF institutes are there, right? What they have to do is they have to allot 3.5 percentage to the existing PhD student strength on 1st May of respective year. And the next category like 11 to 25, those institutions they have to allot 2.5 percentage of the existing PhD students strength on the same date as well as a month and the year. And the remaining institutes, or let us say a few students who opt only top 10 if other institutes remain unfilled. Okay, so those unfilled can be allotted 1.5 percentage to the existing students. So these are the percentage of the allocation of seats for the top 25 uh, PMRF granting institutions. Right. In the case of total PMRF seat requirement for a particular year exceeds 1,000, the above percentage will be scaled down proportionate, proportionately so that the total seat requirement does not exceed 1,000. So it clearly says that only 1,000 seats will be allocated in all 25 institutes. It will not be exceeded 1,000, or else they will scale down the student. So, and they are clearly mentioned that they will be scaled down either. So the here is a high percentage is there either because most of the students try to opt only top 10. So here if you reduce, then the balance may be compensated here in the second or third. Okay, by that way they will compensate this 1,000 in this three mm, categories like 3.5 plus 2.5 is 6, and 6 plus 1.5 is 7.5. A total 7.5 percentage of total seats. And we'll see what is the eligibility criteria as well as the application procedure. As it was mentioned earlier, there are two approaches for this PMRF scheme. The first way is direct way, or we can call it as yeah, direct entry channel, lateral entry channel. Yes. Uh, yes. So the first criteria, the applicant should have satisfied one of the following criteria preceding 3 years from the date of submission of the application. So these are three criteria. So first, second, third, fourth criteria. In that, either or. So we'll see what are those. Complete or completed or be pursuing the final year of 4 or 5 year UG or 5 year integrated MTech or 2 year MSc or 5 year UG postgraduate dual degree programs in science and technology streams from IIC, IITs, NIT, ISRs, IEST, and centrally funded IIITs. These candidates should have secured a CGPA of at least 8 on a 10-point scale. For applications in the 5 year integrated or dual degree programs, if separate CGPA are awarded for UG and PG parts of the program, the CGPA of the UG part first 4 years will be considered. This is the uh, in number of criteria. This is one of them. So if we have any degree of above mentioned degrees, if your CGPA is at least 8 or the criteria is 8 or above 8 on a 10-point scale, you are directly eligible. You can apply for the program. In case if your degree, even it's a 5 year degree, if the CGPA is awarded for UG as well as PG separately, then they will take consideration only UG for the first 4 years. So your PG degree will not be included in that scheme. Or else these are only for the any central funded institutions only. Now, completed or be pursuing the final year of 4 or 5 year undergraduate or 5 year same programs, but it is from any other institute or university recognized in India, not covered in 1A above. So this is 1A. So which are not covered in these institutions, like let us say private engineering institutions or private deemed universities or engineering colleges or any other state universities. These candidates should have secured minimum CG of 8 or equivalent from a minimum score of 650 in respective GATE subject. Okay, so what? So for these candidates, only 8 is enough. They need not to qualify if they don't have 8 or they don't need any GATE. But here they should have either CGPA of 8 or if they are not having 8 CGPA, minimum score of GATE is 650 in the GATE perspective. Then third, uh, qualified GATE and be pursuing or have completed MTech MS by research at one of the Pmrf granting institutions having a minimum CGPA or CPA of 8 at the end of first semester with a minimum 4 courses. For those candidates who are applying after the first semester, the CGPA requirement of 8 will be based on all the courses, labs, thesis, and the candidate has completed. So this is for students who have done for MTech and MS in the first year as well as qualified in GATE exam. Now, the second criteria. They apply for PhD program in one the PMRF granting institute and get selected in the program. The PMRF Granting Institute, which has admitted the student in the PhD program, makes a strong recommendation and uploads the relevant information at the PMRF web portal. Student can only get admission in those institutes where he or she has got selected and wishes to seek the admission. That is, selection in one institute and availing PMRF from another institute which does not support the student for PMRF will not be allowed. This is like uh, if you're if you want to go to any IIT, the PMRF should be done in that particular institute. If you are doing any, if you opt PhD in one institute and you are selecting the PMRF in another institute, it is not allowed. Fourth one, the metrics on the which the candidates will be judged will include, but not restricted to, research exposure, uh, publications, performance in international. Uh, so I think this is a discontinued 70 years. So page number 370 has. So yes, it is continued in here. Competitions like math and grades recommendation letters. So this is only like not restriction. That's it. Fifth criteria. Within 12 to 18 months of admissions into PhD program, the progress of the candidates will be reviewed by PMRF panel, and continuation of the PMRF will be subjected to the candidate satisfactory performance. A strong research proposal is mandatory, and a clear assessment from the host institution in support of continuation of PMRF status. Due to weightage, due weightage would be given to publication in reputed journals or conferences. Yes. So this is the important point. The candidate should be noticed. Uh, in after completion of 1 year, the candidate has to appear for the review based on his performance in the previous year. Then the panel or the review committee will uh, give the status on the candidate whether he or she should be funded for the next year. Okay, and that is based upon the his work published in journals or conferences. Yes. Now, what is the how to enter into this lateral entry? So one first we have seen is it's a direct entry channel. Now lateral entry channel. It means that uh, the candidate has entered into the campus with any regular written exam or through his gate score. Like after pursuing 1 year of PhD, then he's opting or he's choosing to go for PMRF fellowships. Like in second year of engineering, how the uh, polytechnical students will go and join directly into the BTech in the same way, but they have to continue in the same institution. Now the criteria is the candidate should be pursuing PhD in one of the PMRF granting institutions. So this is a must thing. So not for any other non-PMRF granting institutions. Further, uh, he or she should have completed at most 12 months in the PhD program if he or she joined the program with a master's degree. So the minimum uh, uh, days of entry level in lateral entry channel is 12 months and should have completed at most 24 months the PhD program. If he or she joined the PhD program with a bachelor degree, okay, so 12 months for the master's degree, 24 months for the BTech. The relevant period of 12 months or 24 months will be counted from the date of sub admission in the PhD program till the date of applicant of lateral entry, right? This is the date of joining into the institution as well as at what date you are applying for the lateral entry. A candidate can be considered at most twice through lateral entry channel PMRF. So only two times he or she may apply for this scheme in lateral scheme. In the case of integrated MTech or MSc and PhD programs, candidates will be eligible to the apply within 12 months of the date of satisfying the master's degree requirement. Second criteria. The candidate should have completed at least 4 courses in the PhD program, each of which should be a full semester course, and obtain aggregate CGPA of 8.5 or higher. So here is because in few institutions, a few faculty scholars they will not bother about the courseworks. They will be continuing in second year or mostly by the end of second year they'll be completing. So here to apply the scheme within 1 year, minimum 4 courses they have to complete, and that will be calculated for the CGPA of 8.5. Because this is why this has been given the CGPA is mostly the scholars will not concentrate on uh, the coursework, because most of them will be concentrating on their research works and their project. But uh, putting these kind of criteria is very mm, not appreciable, because scholars most of them they will not obtain 8.5 uh, by doing research. This should be revised. Third one, the PMRF Granting Institute, in which the students is enrolled, makes a strong recommendation for the candidate and uploads the relevant information on the PMRF web portal. This includes a research proposal and a soft copies of applications. Yes. And fourth one, candidate continues work only in the host institute and transfer to PMRF eligible institute is not allowed. Further, once enrolled in PhD program through lateral entry, the candidate cannot be considered for the direct entry channel in a subsequent year. So there is no uh, shifting or transferring through one mode to another mode. The metrics on the which candidate will be judged include, but not restricted to, a strong research proposal, publications, record and grades. Due weightage should be given to publications in reputed journals. Yes, now the evaluation process and nodal institutions. Yes, I think they have scanned improperly, and these are not in the continuous. So these are the institutions are the criteria for them. The disciplines will be broadly classified into five or six broad areas in consultation with NCC. Mm, and each, the NI means a nodal institution, will be appointed. The NI for each broad discipline will rotate once in 2 years. The NCC will decide on the nodal institutions. Each PMRF eligible institute will designate a PMRF coordinator who will responsible for uploading and communicating all the relevant information for the candidates. So each institute should appoint a or designate a PMRF coordinator, and he is the responsible for all the formalities. D. A central portal would be developed for submission of applications by the PMRF granting institutions. Each PMRF granting institute shall make at most as many recommendations as 1.25 times the number of PMRF available seats allotted to it for the existing year. The number of the direct entry recommendation should not be more than 25% of the PMRF seats allocated to the institutes. The portal will automatically send the applicants applications to the received respective nodal institutes. Each NI would constitute a reviewers consisting uh, of subject matter experts to go through all the applications and make recommendations for selections. The nodal institute will form a committee for selecting the PMRF uh, scholars. Each NI will send the recommendations to a national level committee. The committee will release the final allocation of PMRF seats to the candidates. Okay, so once the candidate institutions receive the applications from the applicants, they will filter, and the filtered applicants will be sent to the national level committee, and that national level committee again they will finalize the allocation for this PMRF seats. So it's a two-time filtration. uh, the selection process will be held twice a year. The national level committee shall meet twice a year, in the first week of July and third week of December. Okay. And fifth point is deliverables. So what they are expecting. At the time of joining, each fellow should be shall be given deliverables to be achieved each year. So it's like they have to meet the certain criteria for year, like a target kind of thing. This will be decided by the assigned guide and department which the fellow is joining. So like any other institution does. The deliverables are to be designed keeping in the view of the topic selected by the fellow. There shall be an annual review of the PMR fellows. The candidates would continue to avail the fellowship in the next year only if their performance is found satisfactory by the review committee. The review will be a rigorous process. The Nodal Institute for the discipline may form multiple expert panels to evaluate the progress of the PMR fellows. Each such panel can have 3 to 4 members, with at most 2 members from the host institutions. Hmm. Each fellow is expected to teach once a week in a neighborhood ITI, Polytechnic, Engineering College as per modalities approved by the government. Yeah, so this is the uh, work, teaching work they have to follow. 71, 3, 72. And if the deliverables are not achieved, the fellowship could be brought down to the institutional fellowship level or even discontinued. So this point to be noted by the applicants. If the target is not up to the level or the candidate is not reaching the targets, the fellowship, the whatever the uh, approved by the uh, central or UGC, and it will be brought down to the institution level fellowship. So it may be 16,000 or 31,000. That is what is the existing fellowship approved by the institution. Next, this is not needed. Mm, so this is administration system. Yeah, so this is not required. 72 monitoring. This is also not nothing is there in this financial applications. Yes. So here is the fellowship details. The following would be fellowship for the PMRFs. So in the first year of joining, you will be getting 70,000, 73. Yes. In second year, same. Third year, 5,000, 75,000. Fourth year, 80,000. Fifth year is 80,000. And apart from that, each fellow will be eligible for research grant of 2 lakhs, and so 2 into 5, it is 10 lakhs for 5 years. Yes, here the tenure of the fellowship will be till the end of fourth year of PhD for the students from integrated courses, until end of fifth year for the PhD for BTech. uh, so 74, 75. Yes. So these are the some rankings, or yes, this is central and NITs in top 25. So these are the top 25 institutes. Like there are many other IITs also there, but especially the central universities as well as NIT. One university is JNU, BHU, uh, University of Hyderabad, Aligarh Muslim University, Zamia Millia Islamia, and University of Delhi, and NIT Trichy. So these are the seven central universities or NIT. So please go through this notice. Um, if you feel this video is helpful, Please share with your friends. Thank you.